And time to go. Hello! Aloha! Hello! Hi everyone, I'm back from Scotland. You know, well, yes, in today's program is Kerbal Space Program developers mentioned this challenge to try and get the highest altitude in Kerbal Space Program 0.7.3, right? This is ancient. How is California? Well, California, I think I've brought back the Scottish rainy weather with me. It's been terribly grey and overcast since I've returned, which is actually fine because we've had a bit of a bad time. We've had a bit of a drought, let's say. So getting this good weather, getting this grey weather is actually good. Anyway, so here's Kerbal Space Program 0.73. This was the first publicly released version of Kerbal Space Program. You can actually download it from the forums, and it is rather simplistic. Hello, 11 from Finland. And Quantum Gamer, it's glad to have you here. Oh, you've been following for months and never caught a stream. I could make some comment about, Schrodinger's cat or something. Okay. So, this is what the Space Center used to look like. Can you believe this? Look, we had a swamp. Why don't we have a swamp anymore? How come we have a new version of Kerbal Space Program, but we do not have a swamp? I think that's rather unfortunate. But look, it still has this building attached to the side of it. I don't know. Anyway. Let's go in. I'm just going to show you some stuff. We have a very limited number of parts, right? So this is the old Mark 1 capsule. You have your fuel tanks. You have the rockets. Now, one thing about the rockets is you can't stack fuel tanks like that. The fuel does not drain down. It only drains one way. So you can only do that much. The only other engine is the RT-10, right? So I can do something like this, for example, and build a very simple staging rocket here. This is the SAS module. The SAS module weighed about the same as a capsule. The decouplers weighed 0.8 tons, which meant they were about half the weight of a solid rocket booster. This tank was 2 tons, this engine was 2 tons. So these things, yeah, it's just crazy. Winglets, I'm not sure these things actually worked. But here's the thing, no symmetry here, so you had to just kind of manually put them on and guess where they would be. So I'm just going to do some here just to show you how this works. Let's do that there and there. Wow, look at how awesome this is. I think I'll lift this one up just a little because we don't want to be going off to the side right away. Oh, good lord. It's like every time I fix I can't see what the darn thing is. Look at the old KSP flag there as well. See that? Oh, there, on the side. Can I zoom in here? No, none of the mouse controls work. KSP without symmetry. Oh yeah, and we have a parachute. So let's put that on there. So, hold on. At least staging worked, right? Let's just fly this, right? There's the launch center there, and oh yes, and Unity Physics was a little touched, and if you were touching the pad, then frequently you would be unable to leave the pad until there. Oh, there now it finally fixes itself. And what the heck? Why is this thing rolling over here? No! No. Also, killed in action. Okay, let's just relaunch this again. Oh no, wait a second. So there was a way to fix the sticky pad problem, right? Now, I remember playing this version, but I never made any videos about it. So what you can do is put a decoupler between you and the pad to make sure that the thing doesn't trigger early. So let's try this again. Ready? And oh, there we go. There, you see? Brilliant. So I can actually fly this like a sane rocket. Notice that these flaps don't actually work. There's no control mechanism available in these. Yeah, once again, I better ditch this. Oh yes, look at that. And the thing's just evaporated. Where's that thing going? Oh, I can't switch to it. Is it gonna crash land? Ah, bang. Yes. Oh no, they just fell through the ground there, right? It's pretty funny. Ah, yeah, the launch pad still has that issue. Actually, I had the problem on the upgraded, the level 1 launch pad. Yeah, people didn't think it used to be possible to get to orbit, but actually, getting to orbit is okay. So the challenge is to get the highest altitude, right? So I'm going to go back to my vehicle assembly building. Since we're going for the highest altitude, get rid of extraneous weight. We don't need no stinking parachute. Let's get rid of these things, right? Now, just going to put these on. And just attach this. Oh, you know what? I might... Yeah, I'll just do that. I'm going to show you another interesting issue, let's say, this thing has to deal with. Bingo. Bingo. Okay. And, yes, Siri is kicking in here, right? This is version 0.703. 0.7.3. So, here this one works, right? By the way, stability control, pressing T doesn't work. You have to hold the F key to get stability control, right? If you let go of it, stability control goes away. The only control torque here came from this tiny pod here, right? Watch my temperature here. These 3 rockets on their own, they are unable to remain cool under pressure. Yeah, they unfortunately overheat, so we lose them. I'm not sure I can make it to orbit with this, but yeah, the big problem is that you literally cannot stack these tanks, right? So you're limited to about 1800 meters per second of delta V from that engine. Now, where we're going, we don't need parachutes. The air, the atmosphere is ridiculously thick, right? Much, much thicker than what we have today. Thicker than even what we had in older versions, right? This was just harsh. You would get up to 35 kilometers and then it would magically disappear completely. So hitting the atmosphere at about 35 kilometers, there was no slow graduation. It literally was like space and then brick wall. I should be able to get to space with this engine here, right? Just to show like what we're going for, right? Yeah, Jeb and Bill and Bob look completely different. Look at this. Get some... Oh, look! It almost looks like there might be clouds there. Look at that. Yes, this is the larval stage of the Kerbal race. Everything is brighter. Oh, pardon me. Oh, also, and if you click away from it, say if I needed to click on this, yeah, it just decides to throw this away. It locks up the screen, right? Yeah, there's some stars in the sky. We're getting high enough so we can see the stars even during the day. And they're not so much stars as they are a little glowing nebula. Oh yes, let's throttle down. Maybe I can land this thing. Look, the engine remains running. I wonder how much fuel I have left in this thing. Here's a problem. No time acceleration. So... what is it? Mrab Ezreb. I remember you. I just don't have... I'm trying to look at a spacecraft and trying to look at this chat and everything. It's really hard. Vertical speed indicator just... I don't know. It has numbers on it that make absolutely no sense. It's just bouncing around like, you know, I don't know, Kerbals on too much caffeine bouncing around on the surface of Moho or something. Yeah, look, remember the fuel tank icons? Yeah, there we go. We can zoom out quite a bit. You can actually see roughly the same shape of the planet Kerbin is there still, right? We still have this rough outline. And then, I don't know if there's a desert over there, but you've got the little island up there and everything. Interstellar mod is not out yet. I don't think Real Scale Solar System is working just yet. I looked and that did not appear to be working the last I looked. Look, I think I might be beginning to fall down here. This engine is not actually running. I've throttled it down to 0, but it's just producing the effect because they don't have any way to stop it. This was before... Never mind, this was before the moon existed. It was before Minmus existed. The sun is just painted on the sky there. And if you go too far from Kerbin, Kerbin stops being rendered. And that is, of course, part of my plan, to get as far away from Kerbin that we destroy it. Leave nothing to be seen and leave the Kerbals alone in deep space. Also note, this dinky-sized pod here, this is like a 1 meter pod. Look at the art on that. What is that? Oh, what the heck? Anyone recognize what that texture is? It's, I don't know. It's like some sort of lock or something. On the bottom it looks like a wheel, where you can just see, it's literally a wheel from a car here that is the bottom of the pod, if you hadn't noticed. The Kraken will have its revenge. Yeah, look at, there's mountains. The mountains are still in the same place, so some of the stuff remains the same. This is before a lot of better things. Yes. Well, listen, the space program had the important things. It had rockets and it had gravity. What else do you need? Okay, well, I clearly don't remember anything. I love the way the landscape kind of just renders in like this. Okay, starting to feel G-forces. Let's see that. 27 kilometers. We're feeling 1 G at. Yeah, no mission elapsed time. G-forces building up rapidly, which is important. Okay. Do you think I can land this? I don't think I'm going to be able to land this thing, but I just thought, for a laugh, let's try putting it down safely. You can hear the wind. That's something which, is there. No, I don't think you fall faster. No, you slow down faster in 0.7, 0.3. I bet you my terminal velocity will be around 120, maybe. I'm wondering when this engine when I'll have fuel left to fire up this engine. We want to wait until the last minute. Yeah, they're still happy and sad and freaked out. Come on, look, 134, 135. So yes. How is everybody then? Is anybody watching the whole, like, anyone watching the basketball? Because, of course, we're all very interested being locals and having the Golden State Warriors be the big thing right here. Okay, let's try this. 70 meters per second. Look at those textures, huh? Someone might argue those textures are better. Oh, there, look! Oh, they survived. But they're rolling under the landscape. Look! They've found the undersea ocean! This is, of course, before EVA, or EVA was possible. I have one of the Kerbals upstairs, over there. Anyway, let's go big, because we need to go elsewhere, right? We need to get this thing getting bigger. These things exploded. Now, the way to deal with things that explode, of course, due to overheating, is to dissipate heat. And these should actually help me. If I can put 3 of them on, right? At least angle snap works, because that would be horrific if that didn't work. Okay. I'm gonna have to eyeball this, basically. This is gonna... Yeah, anybody that's OCD should not play this game, because you will be... Or not play this version of the game, because you will just be taking stuff off and working it and whatever. I'm just really busy. People are worried that I'm not remembering them, and honestly, I'm always really, really busy. Okay, yes, Alt to copy does not work. Oh, and moving stuff off the side doesn't work. Under the sea, under the underground, there is a sea where we wanna be. Have you seen that NASA have come up with a list, a provisional list for the experiments they want to send on their Europa mission? Okay, so this is going to be a bit bigger, but what I want to do is have some of these on the side. Oh god, these things keep evaporating. If you let them go for a second, they disappear. I'm going to try and make sure these sit exactly under the same thing. Okay. Let's see how that does. So these will all fire, and then these will ditch. Okay, let's see if this works, okay? No, I do remember the name, but I just don't remember very much about people because I'm terrible. Oh, there, look, that goes. Awesome. And we just need to keep things... Okay, that's pretty good. This is flyable. Okay. Oh, shoot. I hope this thing... Okay, so... Now can I make this bigger? No, they're not going to send a giant robotic squid vehicle to Europa because getting to Europa and flying past Europa is relatively easy. Putting a spacecraft on the surface of Europa requires a whole crap ton of Delta V, which I don't think we have. Oh yeah, so another fun fact is this version did not have surface attached, so you can't attach these engines, the fuel tank's surface, but you can attach the solid rocket boosters, right? So I think I'm going to have a booster stage here, which will be these. The solid rocket boosters also produce less thrust than the liquid fueled engines, and in fact they last quite a long time as well. Okay, I'm going to try that. Okay, in the middle there. Let's get this red in the middle. And then, of course, we need some detachers here. Detacher. Okay. And these need to go in here. Okay, I think this might be ready. The EM drive is... Okay, Thors is asking about the EM drive. This is something I get asked a lot, right? So, what happened was, a bunch of scientists built this device, and it's showing up in their experimental test system to be producing anomalous thrust. So either A, their test system is flawed and broken, or B, they've discovered new physics. It's almost certainly A, but the press has decided to go with B and say, let's talk about warp drives and stuff, right? They haven't... I mean, listen, neutrinos that move faster than the speed of light, that wasn't an experimental anomaly. That was like, hey, we didn't plug in one of our cables properly. But, of course, that didn't stop lots of press talking about faster than light neutrinos, sending signals faster than light, and things like that, right? I'm gonna wait for better results. So there's our spacecraft. I think this will be able to get us where we need to go. Are we ready? Wish us luck. Hold on, I need to take a slug of drink. Yeah. The EM drive is basically a resonating cavity, right? Which you pump microwaves into, and it resonates at some particular... Okay, this thing is rotating. I've clearly got something off axis here, so I'm trying to spin it to bring it back on axis. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to go. You want to go up. You want to go upwards. There it is. Come on. No. That's not the way you want to go. You don't want to go downwards. You don't want to go downwards. No. Okay. Let's try taking these things off and try them again. Okay. Yeah, no struts. No struts. Can you believe what awfulness we had to deal with? Okay, I'm going to try adjusting that. I'm just going to keep on pulling these things off and sticking them back on until we get one that flies straight. That's really all I can... You know, this one might be slightly off-center. So hard to tell. Okay. And then, of course, I need to readjust these things again. Anyway, so, you know, they use microwave resonating cavities in all sorts of applications. But they have to be machined to quite high tolerances, and generally they are very sturdy. What I have seen from their design does not look to be particularly sturdy. So one wonders whether it's simply thermal expansion or some other process which they are not accounting for, right? And it is a complex system, right? So it's not entirely unlikely that they would have some sort of flaw in their measurement. There we go. That's us. That's us. Look, we're heading upwards. I'm just keeping this pointed along here. Look at that. Leaving there behind. Oh, no, 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 no. Get yourself back. No stability control here. Okay. There we go. Keep this going. I'm going to throttle down to about 1/3 thrust, or 2/3 thrust, because I don't think we need that extra thrust right now. We've got a lot of extra thrust from those things. Let's control our roll here. Yeah, so if we're talking about Europa, the hard part is it's easy to get there, it's hard to land. Because there's no atmosphere in Europa, it's very hard to bleed off speed, and you're orbiting Jupiter, which means you've got some serious velocity there as well. I'm throttling down a bit more, 50%, and throttle up to 100%. There we go. Continuing to go upwards. I need to pick a direction. Now, there was no rotation on the planet in this particular version, so you can pretty much go to orbit whichever way you like. So I'm going to head this way. There we go. Uh-oh. Come on. Is Neil deGrasse Tyson going to be in town on September 24th? Because I haven't been keeping track of anything. Bird88, are you a local in San Francisco? Do you know what's going on? Because that would be cool. Yeah, so I'm not sure how serious NerdCubed was, largely because I'm wondering if he realizes what the state of Star Citizen is. Because yes, it would be amazing to just faff around the universe with NerdCubed and Crash and whatever. I think that would be a rich seam of comedy to be exploited, but it may be several years off before you can really have that kind of adventure. However, if you've been paying attention to Star Citizen, you'll know that they had a little bit of a security issue. What happened was during... I can't remember what it was, but Disco Lando posted a screenshot of him playing some development version of the game with some first-person shooter assets, and accidentally left the URL of the download, or at least a significant part of the URL, on a browser window visible. So people figured out where that was, they downloaded it, and they found out that it was a torrent that basically was a client with a whole bunch of assets that had not been revealed yet. So people have been trying to get the assets exported to look at them. There's large parts of the Bengal carrier, the Idris corvette, or the Idris frigate, a lot of Vandal spacecraft, and yeah, I'm trying to think what else. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there that's really kind of cool. Yeah, it was about 50 gigs, and although to be fair, large parts of it, you know, were already part of the client, which is like 30 gig client as it is. So I've seen people that have managed to get parts of the first-person shooter running to the point that they were able to, you know, run up to the gravity generator, flick the giant switch on the gravity generator and start floating around in space, Ender's Game style. Okay, so if I can get this above 3,400, that is me on escape velocity, and therefore I will have broken the challenge. The challenge says, can you make it to... how high can you get? So if I can get up to escape velocity, my answer will be infinity. Oh, there we go. Yes, these guys are not coming home anytime soon. 3,700 meters per second. These guys are going... yeah, the retribution is ginormous. Okay. So what else is going on then? Shiny Ray 2. Wait a second. What are we talking about? Oh, we talking about pardon me. Victon 0510. Are we talking about I forget it now. What's No Man's Sky, right? Yeah, we're all interested in that. No, those are not clouds in space. Those are the mountains. Power Drive. No, I haven't heard of that. Yeah, I totally hear you about the content for Star Citizen. Like, they're certainly taking a long time to get up to the persistent test universe, right? That's just what's going on here. Okay, so there's no time acceleration here. If I want to show you how this thing goes, we need to either wait a long time, or I need to do something else. No, oh, yes. Well, I know that. I've reached escape velocity because I know the numbers. I remember putting spacecraft into orbit and figuring out the mass of the planet just by putting it in orbit and then figuring out whether it's high or low. No, I'm probably not going to the Mythbusters Live in Riverside. I'm not sure why I would go to the one in Riverside when they have local things for us, right?